be free with me? Are you free? Are you free? Are you free? Do you wanna be free with me?
Thank you so much to McLean. Coming to you, broadcasting from Calgary, Alberta, booking shows this summer on the west coast of our dear country, Canada. McLean, M-A-C-L-A-Y-N-E, our musical guest of the day, and my 27-year-old daughter. Thanks for listening. Today's book review is about Dr. Phil's new book, We Have Issues. Of course, there's issues. It's obvious, and it's otherwise a dry read. However, my company, Your Personality Shows, is presenting a new perspective, adding personality to this program Dr. Phil delivers. A long-time media mogul, starting out with Oprah Winfrey and then moving on to his own show, 31 years in the business, speaking in front of people. So here I am, an amateur, seeking him for my information. And what I found reading the book was that the information was exchanged, yes, but it was dry, dull, like when stepping stones become stumbling blocks. So to add personality, Dr. Phil does communicate 10 important skills that we do here on Your Personality Shows, little skincare. We are going to develop your communication skills, multitasking, social skills, technical skills, organizational skills. They're all in this book. Reducing stress, problem solving, reliability, empathy, and visitor management. As receptionists, as we are receiving and looking for the truth in other people's opinions, I went down that wormhole in this book here to find the 10 most interesting facts that Dr. Phil communicates, but in my own style. So this page, I scribbled out some notes for you that I have in my hand as well. He hits on 10 topics, all right? So making your choices based on results, right? That's important. And living on purpose, being an entrepreneur, focusing on the family, of course, the family, very nice, and the roles and responsibilities in our family. Critical thinking, instead of just buying into your perception, it's having a perspective, putting your thoughts on the chopping blocks. Come on in here, Sela. Here's Sela, 2.5 years old. So back to Dr. Phil, that's 5, right? We talked about choosing on results, living on purpose, being an entrepreneur, familial, critical thinking, using athletics, being physical, being literal from kindergarten to secondary school, looking out for the offended sweepstakes. Dr. Phil calls it the offended sweepstakes. So I guess that's looking out for curveballs or distractions that don't keep us on purpose. He also talks about your reputation. Basing your reputation on your competence and starting in your own life. 10 important factors that filter into our framework, the framework that I'm communicating with you through Your Personality Shows. So we'll take a break. We'll go back to some music from McLean and think about those 10 items and how they might incorporate into your personality.
Are you free? Are you free? Are you free? Do you wanna be free with me? Are you free? Are you free? Are you free? Do you wanna be free with me?
Thanks again, McLean. Thanks again, McLean, for that fabulous music. We'll see how this is going in the real world because I don't know. I'm all alone here. I know there's teams of writers, editors, program directors, and producers, and I have had plenty of help. I've had more help than I can imagine, and probably more than I deserve. Mark McKee, producer Daryl, Juliana, our producer, friends and family that have put up with me at parties, uncomfortable moments with cashiers in lineups, continuing a conversation far too long where my wife might say, "Were you going to talk to that guy for hours?" And I might have if she let me. Moving on, Dr. Phil's new book, We Have Issues, a stale comparison to what's inevitably going to happen. We will work out these social issues. I'll move this microphone a little closer, and I'm hoping I'm getting through to all of you. The 10 lessons that we teach you here on Your Personality Shows is communication, multitasking, social skills, technical skills, organizational skills, reducing stress, problem solving, reliability, empathy, and visitors management. So all these things fall in line with Dr. Phil's book, so that's why I brought it up. So here I'll communicate our skills in terms of Dr. Phil's values. You know when you care about somebody and you exaggerate yourself or you minimize yourself, a doting mother, you can find their children by the hunted look on their face. Moving on. Enough is enough. Reciprocate is a equal opposite, all right? So a gesture to a friend, an equal opposite. So we're looking for that reciprocal relationship in our lessons. Vocational, family, and social reasons for Dr. Phil's book brings us emotional wellness, a sense of humor, and mutual respect. I'm going to put on my glasses and I'm going to glance down occasionally. Dr. Phil's point on making choices based on results is seen in our own framework by empathy. All right, so what's empathy? Empathy is an emotional willingness that's effective. You can do your best to empathize with someone, but if it's not real, it's not coming through and it's not effective. So Dr. Phil's point, choosing not based on results, has to do with absorbing the feelings and looking for the right move based on what happened. Results. Living on purpose, all right, so how do you know if you're living on purpose? Well, in our program, applied to Dr. Phil's book, is living on purpose is a cussionary potential vocation. So where are you reliable, right? If you're reliably on the couch as a slouch, that's predictable and you're on purpose because you're reliably there. If you're reliably there showing up for meal times and obligations, well, you're on purpose. So that's your look for reliability to see if you're on purpose. Where are you reliable? Next stop, be an entrepreneur. So Dr. Phil communicates this entrepreneurial spirit. So, you might have a job and you might wonder, well, how can I fit another thing into my life? Well, it's effective multitasking. Effective multitasking. Imagine that. It's a physical influence. Where you spend your influence, that's a chemistry. It's resolute. When you're multitasking, you're not having a deep love affair with feeding the dog every day twice. But you'll do it because you know that there's a detachment with love, a resolution, a chemistry that you develop to organize your time and your influence. So look for entrepreneurial skills. That's giving more value than the money you receive, adding value to the market. Number 4 on Dr. Phil's key component parts to save the sanity in this day and age with our cultural appropriation and such is family. He names it familial, and I love that term. Dr. Phil really nails it down with family and friends, all right? However, whoever you choose, even a cashier or that aunt that puts you down at every family party. You can switch roles in a family. You can strengthen your family. And the most important part is visitor management. So that's a skill we teach here at Your Personality Shows is visitor management. Who do you have in your life? How are you conducting the waiting room of your life? Before anything happens, who's around you? So visitor management. So how is visitor management effective, and how can we bring this familial aspect to Dr. Phil's book, which it is lacking? So here's the test. You're properly operating your visitor management if you're celebrating natural and familial hallmarks, celebrations, rituals, ceremonies. Celebrations, rituals, ceremonies, the seasons changing, those are natural and familial hallmarks. And you're out of touch with nature and your family if you're not celebrating hallmarks. So look into your life and apply Dr. Phil's information. He's got great information, but the fact is it's just an exchange of information in this book. There's no caring for the personality or the relationship you share with the person you're communicating with. It's a bullet effect. Physical athletics. Dr. Phil's next term is the physical side. Being athletic, being a problem solver. See, in our work, we can apply problem solving to athletics because it's a intellectual. It's intellectual. I'll tell you, no, it's not. It's a personality, a reciprocal problem solving personality. So your problem-solving techniques should have a resonant, reciprocal personality. So when a problem comes, and they do, believe me, they do. So when a problem comes along, you can reliably be known in your circles of influence that it has a resonant, reciprocal personality. Okay, let's get down to business. Let's hunker down and solve this problem. And how you operate within chaos has a lasting effect on the company you keep. So let's remember, how we operate within chaos has a lasting effect on the company you keep. I can trust them to have that personality, that problem-solving personality comes out where, you communicate reciprocally, an even gesture, looking for the truth in others' opinions. That's your problem-solving aspect. For Dr. Phil's athletics, I'll call that athletics, because if you're obese, you're not solving that physical problem too well, are you? All right, moving on. Being literacy. So Dr. Phil really promotes in this book that we conduct literacy tests like SAT scores, which have been eliminated from a lot of our grade level curriculum. The SAT scores have been eliminated, and they were effective because they allowed people that didn't kind of fit into the IQ quotient, personality, success, and kind of that route into a successful education. So Dr. Phil pulls for that from pre-K to post-secondary literal curriculum, which makes a lot of sense. But he doesn't go any further. He doesn't discuss the organizational skills that I communicate through our company, your personality shows. And organization is a physical intellect. So you actually are physically, intellectually resilient in your organization skills. So you can handle the problems that show up, which inevitably do, right? Remember how we operate within chaos? So inevitably, everything actually depends on the surprises, because we're really predictable often. But when surprises come around, that's when the literacy needs to be there, and our personality needs to come out. Our intellect is organizing ourselves in a literal way, and our intellect, think of your intellect, it's resilient. You don't buy into certitude. Just because it's organized that way, it doesn't mean it's the most effective. So our organization skills give us that resilience, and it's an intellectual thing, it needs to be fixed. All right, moving on. The offended sweepstakes. So I had to look deeply into this because I didn't really understand what Dr. Phil meant, but he was talking about looking for people that I guess are blaming and complaining, so the offended sweepstakes. So I thought that would be mostly in communication. So communication is a spiritual character. Spiritual character that's effective. So how you communicate is everything. It's resonant. A character of resonance? Character is your mental and moral faculties. qualities. Your mental and moral qualities is your character. So if you can put your character into your communication, then you won't be able to have this slave-master relationship. When you prop the world's efforts or problems on your own shoulders and look to collectively work with others to solve problems, you'll be happy. So there's your offended sweepstake. Starting in your own life, that's really important. Okay, Dr. Phil brings up this starting in your own life, and we're just going to continue on. There's only 3 more. So starting in your own life is basically looking to chat. So if you have nowhere in your life that you're not looking to chat, to have banter, seeking out a conversation more than just your, standard back and forth with the cashier or with a coworker, but looking deeper into that, you can resist stress. So for YPS, starting in your own life would be resisting stress, having a conscience. Conscience, that rescue junction between your inner voice, that skull-sized hell, your inner voice and your guiding principles. Would you like to have a rescue junction there where they come together and your conscience exists? Would you like to look to chat, to have banter with a conscience? That's how you resist stress, right? Right away, right off the top. Say, that doesn't fit into my rescue junction. What's really happening there? Let's look a little deeper. And the last one, base your reputation based on competence. We tell young people you're amazing. You can do anything. Well, actually, you can't do everything. I'd love to be a Detroit Piston, and I'd like to do my best to get there, but I'm not getting there, am I? I'm not going to be a Detroit Piston. So I'm not amazing. I'm just a person. I'm not special. I'm unique. I'm certainly unique. You can see it in my facial routine. If you can guess what this facial routine is and how it is I keep looking so young, please comment wherever you can leave comments, because I haven't even looked into that part of the show. But we're in a few minutes now. The last component part of Dr. Phil's book that I picked out was base your reputation on your competence. So competence. Well, we're certainly not competent when we're triggered. When we have a compulsion to react, that's not competence. And it's a mental thing. You can mentally know when you're triggered. You don't need any special genius. You're triggered. You're reacting instead of responding. So rhythm. So triggers are mental, technical skills that are mental triggers that provide rhythm. All right? So basing your reputation on competence, you'd look at your triggers. And where don't you have rhythm in your life? Where is it sticky and unctuous, used car salesman kind of a feel where it's just not right, That's triggering. Or if you're lazy or fat, those are triggers, right? Are you okay with that, okay? Anyways, that's the end of the show. That's my first real live stream I've ever done. So I'm going to look on the socials and see what people have to say. But lots of love, and it's my duty here to warm the lonely. That's why I'm speaking out loud. I'm here to warm the lonely, and I'll get better at it with time that goes on. And I hope you can see me and hear me, and I look forward to conversations with you. My phone number's there. I've already had a call. It was my son, but I could pretend it was one of my listeners. And appreciate the support. You could go to YouTube, Your Personality Shows, and subscribe. Then I could build up my subscription. I think I'm at 81, and I'm looking for 1,000 subscriptions. If you've listened this long, I got a gift for you. I'm not telling you what it is. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you, friends and family and strangers. I'm wanting to impress you. I'm wanting to sharpen your personality. Lots of love. And here's McLean, heading out with McLean.